Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Thermopolis Bobcats. It's homecoming night here from the south end of the Bighorn Basin. It's a pleasure to be with you here for week 6 of the high school football season here in Wyoming. Only 2 more games remain after tonight. A road game against Mountain View and a home game against Pinedale. But first, they got to get by the Lyman Eagles, a team they barely edged out in overtime last year in Lyman. It's probably going to be a little bit of a rough broadcast for us after last season, but if you were there, you were there. But we are going to at least try. As the Lyman Eagles come to town, they're looking for their second win of the season. They're looking for their second win of the season. They've not had a great season by Lyman Eagle standards, especially with how they dominated the latter half of the 2010s and the early part of the 2020s, a perennial championship contender. They are currently 1-5 heading into the season with their only win, I believe, over Worland. So,
Will Ennis, Andy Wilson, Dan Blair, and Brandon Daramidi. Please give these young men a large round of applause and congratulate them when you see them on a great season. Go Bobcats!
And so with that, they just recognized the Hot Springs County Rec District rec football players, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth teams. So with that, I think they will also be having like a little scrimmage or something of the sort at halftime of this game. So that'll be really interesting to watch indeed. The Thermopolis Bobcats heading into this game undefeated so far, 5-0 on the season, as you can see down there on the scorebug. They are going to be looking to extend that 6-0 heading into this game against another Uintah County opponent, the Mountain View Buffaloes, which will be in Mountain View hopefully next week for that game. And they're going to be hoping to try and finish this strong. And I feel like if they can beat the likes of Lovell and beat Worland, I think they can pretty much beat anybody. This team has a lot of potential here. And remember, they beat Mountain View last year pretty convincingly, so going to be an interesting way to finish the season. We'll be right back as they do the anthems. Thanks for welcome back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Thermopolis Bobcats. Happy homecoming to our Bobcat alumni, me included, I guess. Class of 2022 represent, huh? But we're here for, of course, homecoming night. A bit of a late one for the Bobcats. Usually they do this in mid-September, but better late than never. Also, a bit of an advisory to our fans. We are testing out a new internet box. We just had one come in last week. This is its debut, and it's like a legitimate router this time. But so hopefully it'll be a little bit stronger, and hopefully it will hold up. So far, not doing so well, but hopefully it'll have some time to adjust, and hopefully things will get a little bit better on the internet side as the game progresses. Again, if there was proper Wi-Fi at this place, we wouldn't need this box. So we're 6 minutes away from gameplay here. Like we said, the Lyman Eagles coming into this game with a 1-win, 5-loss record. They've had some very tough games, though. Do not let that record deceive you. Lyman has lost most, if not all, their games by 1 score or less, and it's been a really interesting season for them. They went head-to-head against the Lovell Bulldogs and the Worland Warriors, a 7-0 win, I believe, over Worland earlier, so Bobcat fans will be very happy to hear that. But Lyman's had some very tough losses. They've also had, they had a 6-0 loss over a team from Idaho in week 1. They've been really just, I feel like, and that's also, you got to remember back to last season in Lyman, the Bobcats just could not get anything going against that Lyman defense. It went over into overtime. Mac Buckner stopped to end that game last year, won the game for the Bobcats, where unfortunately things on air that we do still regret and still have nightmares about to this day. Still, trying to get over that, but it's going to be a little bit difficult, so we apologize. We bring that up every now and again. That Mac Buckner stop to win really set in a lot of things in motion, especially with a little bit of momentum the very next week where they went in to beat the Mountain View Buffaloes at home. They're not going to have that advantage next week as they'll be traveling back into Uintah County next week to take on the Buffaloes. But, this 2-game stretch with the Uintah County, the Bridger Valley teams, going to be very interesting to see how they open things up against Lyman. Hopefully a much better team this year compared to last year. Hopefully they should be able to get by Lyman, but the offense for the Bobcats does have me a little worried. They've had a little bit of a hit-or-miss offensive game this season. The defense has done its best. We know that the Mascaro brothers, obviously, and the likes of Cannon Boren have definitely made things a lot easier on the Bobcats on the defensive side of the ball. They have definitely boasted one of the best defenses in all of 2A. But Lyman the scoreboard says for itself. They've very rarely let up more than 20 points on the season. The Bobcats are going to need to try to get by the Eagles as much as they can on the offensive end of the ball. And I think if they could get their offensive struggles together, I think they're going to be on for a very good result and hopefully a barn burner of a showdown next week in Mountain View. Just a show of who's who here. The Thermopolis Bobcats, of course, wearing their home purple today, all purple today. The purple top and purple pants, purple helmet, yellow lettering, the old 2012 through 2014 numbering pattern that they boasted in week 1 against Kemmer. The Bobcats also have the Bobcat claw mark on the right side of the helmet, their number on the left side of the helmet. Bobcats, I believe, will be moving right to left to start this first quarter. The Lyman Eagles wearing their all whites today with the blue numbering and the blue helmet. I believe certain players have the eagle feather on the right end of their helmets. Lyman will be moving left to right across your mobile device or computer screen or your smart TV. With that being said, we are just moments away from kickoff. 3 minutes on the board, but Thermopolis already getting set for the kickoff return. As the Bobcats, they're in return formation here, so you can probably expect them to be returning it here. The Lyman Eagles will be kicking off to start this game. Kicking it away will be the number 7 of Easton Hull. Now, we do not have any classes or positions for you for the Lyman Eagles. We do have them. We have their names, though. Your coaches for today's contest are head coach Dale Anderson, as well as assistant coaches Clint Bradshaw, Cody Peacock, and Randy Christofferson for the Lyman Eagles. Your coaches for the Bobcats today are head coach Boone Bowker and assistant coaches Dusty McLean, Tucker Vecina, Chris DeLay, Mike Mascoro, and Darren Luby.
Kicking off to start tonight's matchup. Kicking off for Lyman, number 7, Easton Hall.
So like we said, the PA announcer also just said that Easton Hole will be kicking it away to start this one for the Eagles here on homecoming night. Hole back up, he's got his arm ready, whistle blown, and boot to leather. We're underway. Happy homecoming, Bobcats. And they're going to try the onside kick to the middle of the field. That is going to end up going, I think Lyman recovered it there.
Lyman with the onside kick. They recovered.
Very interesting choice for the kickoff there. Makes me thankful for the NFL's fourth quarter onside kick rule. No, I'm just joking. That was actually really fun to watch. We actually saw another blue-shelled team do that earlier this year. It was the Lyman Bulldogs, but not the high school team. The middle school team tried that same strategy and actually worked a couple times. Well, actually, it didn't work against the Bobcats, but also Shoshone tried it a couple times as well in the middle school game as well. There'll be a run up the gut here for the Eagles, and a very good stop by a pride of Bobcats down there in the student section going absolutely haywire. Dear God, who gave them pennies and jugs? But the student section showing up and showing out today. A lot of purple and gold, a lot of fans in stands. It's always an almost sellout crowd here during homecoming week. It's always difficult to find a parking spot, I can tell you that for free. It was also really hard for us to find a parking spot here today. We got here an hour before the game started. So, but a lot of fans here, a lot of Lyman and Bobcat fans, and that's a run up the near side. Nowhere to go for number 25, I think it was on the run. Couple players that we're going to keep our eye on today for the Eagles. Gage Bradshaw is one that we were a little bit scared of last season. We know the Bradshaw family in general down in Lyman is a very scary group of players on the football field, so he's definitely one we're going to keep our eye on today. Also, I'm going to say probably keep your eye today. I really don't know a lot of these players, but a lot of people that they lost. But Marshall Hatch, I want to keep an eye on, and also Levi Blumel for the Eagles. A run up the near side, and that'll be fourth down, I think, coming up for the Eagles here down to the 41-yard line. So the Bobcats a very good defensive drive to start this game.
On the tackle for the Bobcats, bring up a fourth down.
And also, we are, like we said, very sorry about the internet if the stream is skipping at all. It's looking okay as the game progresses here, but like we said, we're experimenting with a new internet box from TravelFi. This company is starting to really tick me off now because this is the second box we've got bought, and it's so far not doing what it's supposed to be doing. A run up the near side, and he has swallowed up the last contact made by number 75, Carter Mascaro. He was the last one in on the hit, and he had a big one, a turnover on downs for the Lyman Eagles. And a very crucial stop there, and the Bobcats going to have to try to take advantage now as they'll have it very close to midfield here. About the 43-yard line is where they're going to set up for their first offensive series of the night. Like we said, the Lyman Eagles really scared about how the Bobcats can counter this defense that they got. They're going to send Zach Hasty in motion here. He'll go up and he'll get the turf monster. And a fake run. Bourne going to keep it himself in a shoulder. Nope! It's going to be down to the far side. He's got a lot of room. It's Hasty on the carry. And that's going to get down inside the Lyman 25-yard line. That's another Bobcat first down. And that got me fooled for a minute there. It looked like I didn't know if it was a fake handoff, and Cannon Boren kept it. He got a shoulder hit there. He looks like he dumped it off to Zach Hasty, and he just took it down the far side of the field and ran with it. And during the next touchdown, or during the next change in possession, we might have to try to switch which kind of Wi-Fi we got. We're trying to 5 gigahertz thing here. That's just not working. So we might, if the Bobcats score here or whatever, we might need to switch that up during the next intermission. There'll be a run up the near side, and he's dragging with defender with him. The run by Bridger Pyle, the senior.
Bridger Pyle is the ball carrier.
And Bridger Pyle has been one of the scariest running backs in Class 2A football this season. No doubt about it. He has been dragging defenders with him like an attention-hungry toddler. And I'm gonna tell you one thing: he's just been on fire. Just shades of Rhodey Farrell, shades of Logan Cole. Cannon Boren under center here. Saw a little bit of movement there from the Lyman defensive line. It'll be a fake handoff as they give it up to Pyle up the left side on a fullback dive, I think was the call there. It'll be to the near side. Third down, I think, will be coming up for the Bobcats.
Tucker with the fumble recovery for the Eagles.
Oh, so there was a fumble for the Bobcats. It's picked up by Lyman. Well, that's not going to spell good news for the Bobcats today on the offensive side of the ball if they continue to do things like that. They've had a lot of moments this season on air where they have coughed up the ball, and that's going to be a huge problem against a defense like Lyman's. And I don't think Lyman's offense is going to be quite what they're looking for, especially if we look at the score line from the past 5 games or 6 games that they have played so far. It'll be a run to the left or to the right side, and he is gobbled up there. I think the last one I saw there was Cannon Birdsley for the Bobcats on the tackle. Very good job by the Bobcat defense. So, as good as the defense as Lyman has, Bobcats have easily been better this season. Last time we checked, I think the Bobcats had the 3rd best overall defense in Class 2A by statistics published by wyopreps.com. So, very reliable people. We trust them for pretty much everything. Our halftime segment, we rely on them for the scores mostly. We might need to start looking at Dragonfly for some of the ones that they didn't fill in. Takes the snap. It'll be a run up the right side, and not much there. It's looking more like a rugby scrum than a organized run play there. It'll be 3rd down for the Eagles. I've been watching a lot of rugby and Australian rules football lately, and that kind of looked like a play you'd see out of that, trying to get through the ruck, and that's just not going to work for the Eagles there. Not with the type of defensive line that the Bobcats have with the Mascoro brothers, and we're not even giving our flowers here to the likes of Colby Deere, right? Or James Witt as well, Tyler Morris is a linebacker, but still, you get my point. Just that entire first half of the defense. It'll be a snap here. It'll be a run to the middle here. They tried to sell the rollout there on the quarterback, but the Bobcats read it like a book. 4th down coming up. That'll be the 2nd time the Eagles have been put in this situation in this game, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter. And I'm wondering, Eagles are making a lot of subs here. The Bobcats are also sending Jordan Garrison and Zach Hasty back to return. So, yeah, the Eagles learning their lesson from that opening drive. They're going to punt it away here. A bit of a shorter punt. They'll go up to midfield. It's fielded there by Jordan Garrison, and he'll be marked down cleanly at about the 46-yard line. Bobcats will come in for their 2nd offensive possession of the evening. 6:51 to go here. Bobcats fumbled inside the red zone on their last time out, so let's see if they can keep better control of the ball here. Again, the Bobcats' offensive woes have kept them off the board more than they probably should have, and when you take a look at that Kemmerer game, a team that's frankly been the worst team in 2A this season. Kemmerer actually just lost to Cokeville 42-6 earlier today. That's a game that the Bobcats should have put 40 up on them, and that's going to be offside on the Eagles. But the Bobcats could only muster up 36 points, I think, only against Kemmerer, and that's still a blowout win. But they could have easily, number 3 team in all of 2A behind Mountain View and Bighorn. They got to be able to score more here. And the defense is not going to carry them forever. If they do make the playoffs and they go up against a team like Bighorn or a Mountain View or a Burns, they're going to have to do a little bit more than that on the offensive end of the ball. And look at that. That's a fumble, and that's picked up by Nolan Collins. Thank goodness he was there to get that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Nolan Collins.
That is the second fumble of the day for the Bobcats. Thankfully, he was able to recover there. And so the Bobcats with the play call here. 23, I think, is what they had on the board there. I think that is a run play from, if memory serves me correctly. Obviously, can't have a name for you here, but sending Hasty in motion, goes in behind. It'll be a run up the left side. He's going to break free. He's got daylight down the near side and brought down. Cal France in on the tackle. And the carry, I believe, by Pyle. And 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. We are very, very sorry that we have a couple of fans that are actually blocking our view here on the camera. We apologize for that as people are starting to come in. Oh, there's a penalty, actually. Oh, man. That's another thing we must have missed there. So that's another thing, too. The Bobcats, I don't remember them getting a lot of penalties this season, but they've had a couple of plays called back because of flags. Not exactly the Jacksonville Jaguars of Class 2A. They are a lot more disciplined than that, but they have lost a couple of big plays because of the dish towel this season. I'm thinking more back to that Newcastle scrimmage as well, even though that doesn't really count. Takes the snap and fakes the handoff. He'll keep it here as Boren will get a very healthy pick up there. Gets it into 3rd down and 3. No flag on the play I don't see here, so they're going to move that one cleanly. And the Bobcats, I will say this as well, on the offensive end of the ball, the Bobcats have shined systemically, middle school and high school level. They have shined on a 3rd down situation. 3rd and 3, this should be easy for them if they can get their blocks here. Again, the Lyman defense has been doing, so far through the first half of the first quarter, they've been playing as advertised through the first 8th of this game, and they've been doing really good. They've been forcing some good mistakes here from the Bobcats, but let's see if they can convert here on 3rd down. A pitch to Hasty behind them, and he has been doubling as a receiver and a running back, and you can see why. He will run them into a 1st down, so that is another Bobcat 1st down off the run by Zach Hasty. Bobcats coming up, lined up, broadcast side of the field. And looks like they're going to go single back, or no. No, I don't know actually what formation this is. I don't think we've seen this season. Takes the snap, pitches up to Hasty to the near side. He's going to take one hit, and he'll be dragged for a few more yards on the play. It will be just short of the sticks there on that run, but a heck of a play by Zach Hasty. They've been using his legs a lot here in this opening quarter. Obviously, that's a little bit to be expected. They're going to their best runners here, mostly Bridger Pyle and Zach Hasty, although Hasty is listed as a receiver. But he has been a Swiss Army knife for the Bobcats on the offensive side, running back and receiver when they need him. And he's been kind of he's been the motion man all season as well. They've sent him in motion off that far side of the field. And it looks like they're going to go wing T here for the Bobcats. Takes the snap, pitches it up to Nolan Collins. That'll be his 3rd carry of the game. And no, he recovered a fumble, but it was intended for him, though. So 3rd down and 1 coming up again. Should be an easy conversion for the Bobcats if they can get just a basic fullback dive or a halfback dive up the right side. I think they'll be just fine. I think they're better off going with a fullback dive up the right side. Just give it off to Bridger Pyle here. Boren in shotgun. He'll send it off, or he'll send Hasty in motion. Goes behind, hands it off to Bridger Pyle. He'll cut right side, and he is going to pick up more than enough for the 1st down. And it might actually get the Bobcats into the red zone here. 3:13 to go on the board here in the opening quarter. You're watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network here on homecoming night. And the second to last home game of the season for the Bobcats. Can you believe it? Football season just feels like it started yesterday, and now we're already down. This is week 6. We got 2 more weeks after this across the state, not just here. I don't know if this is Lyman's second to last game or not, though, because they played a game in week 0 that counted. It'll be a run to the left side. They'll cut to the right side. Didn't see who was in on the carry. It'll be a 2nd down coming up for the Bobcats here. And a friendly reminder, at halftime, the Bobcats will actually, the Hot Springs County Rec District, I believe, will be having a scrimmage down there for halftime entertainment. They're supposed to have something like that against Worland during the rivalry game, but the rain had other ideas. So the Bobcats, I think, will just make that up here on homecoming. Also, I smell burgers. Man, that's been just a festive atmosphere. Every year they have those picnic tables set up over on near the concession stands for the alumni, and it's just really amazing. Smells so good. It's also why I can't find a parking spot before the game. It'll be a direct snap here and swallowed up. I think actually it wasn't a direct snap. It was just Cannon Bourne on the quarterback keeper. Did not work there. Lyman will force a 3rd and long situation here. They're not even at the sticks here on this upcoming carry. Our internet situation appears to be improving, knock on wood, and there's no wood to knock on, so I guess we're screwed. As you can see, Lyman's bus trying to find a parking spot. I guess we're not the only ones that can't find parking here today, as Lyman's bus is also having some issues. Shotgun set here, takes the snap, and he'll hand it off to the left side. I think it's, I want to say that it's Pyle here, and I do question trying to run a short one on 4th down, especially also red zone alert for your Thermopolis Bobcats. So 4th down and 8, ball should be on the 20-yard line. And I don't know, I think you're better off probably just, if I'm Balker, I'd probably try to bounce it to the outside, see if you can get something out of that, because Lyman has had some issues defending it toward the sideline. Not very good pursuit angles today for the Eagles. And Lyman seems to be covering short, so you could probably get away with sending a receiver into the gap here. Takes the snap. Boren's going to roll out. It's going to be their first passing attempt of the day. He'll throw on the run. It's taken, and it's going to be incomplete. Turnover on downs. Intended to the receiver on the far side. 39.5 seconds to go in the opening quarter here from LeRoy Hayes Field. And we remain scoreless. And like I said, this is probably going to be one of those games where it's like, you know, it's going to be one of those, it's going to be, each possession is going to matter here. The Bobcats need to keep the Eagles off the board as much as they can. And the Eagles have done a fantastic job all season. Remember, they 6-0 against this team from Idaho in week 0. Also, you know, a 1-score game against Lovell and 7-0 against Worland. So they've done a very good job limiting teams to 1 or like at the very most 3 scores. I believe have they played Mountain View yet? I actually don't know, but there was only one exception to the rule. And also they played the number 1 team in all 2A earlier in the season, Bighorn, only lost to them by a couple of scores. That's another statement too to what kind of defense Lyman has had this year. And they've already forced 2 fumbles today. And they've also forced 2 turnover on downs. And Lyman's just going to scamper over to the far side of the field. And that is going to conclude the opening quarter here of this homecoming game. We are a quarter of the way through here as the first 12 minutes off the board. It is currently scoreless as the Bobcats and the Eagles are all log-jammed at 0 apiece. We'll be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field. At the end of the first quarter, it's 0-0. You're watching Thermopolis Bobcats football here on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. It's homecoming night. We'll be right back. Talking you back. Second down coming up for the Lyman Eagles. You're watching homecoming football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. Second quarter coming up here. It is a log jam as the Lyman Eagles have forced 2 fumbles today from the Bobcats. Dish towels on the field as they try to run it up through the hash. Wondering if it's holding on the Eagles here. We're going to double check here. We're going to take a look for the white hat, see what his call is here. And if so, this would be the first penalty of the day for the Eagles. Now, don't exactly count it out being on the Bobcats. They've had a pair of penalties today as well, a couple of costly ones, and it is, in fact, on the Eagles. And, yep, it is holding on the Lyman Eagles. That will push them back a little bit here. So that run, all for naught, that would have brought up 3rd down and 1 for the Eagles. But unfortunately, that is going to not only send them back to where they came from, but that's also going to put them in behind the sticks here. So Bobcats, very good job there of drawing the penalty. It's easy to suck the O-lineman into a holding call there because they're trying – the offensive lineman's just trying to do his job, right? The whole point of being an O-lineman, you just don't let them get to the QB. Don't let them get to the ball carrier. And unfortunately, even though it's pretty obvious the D-lineman's going to get right on by the lineman, you know, they're still going to – they're not going to – you know, you're coached not to give up on the play, right? So it's at some point they're going to either – they're going to try and get that D-lineman to stay there at any cost. There'll be a run up the middle for the quarterback here. Don't know who the QB is for the Eagles. Like we said, we don't have positions on the roster that the Riverton Ranger gave the school. So So 3rd down will be coming up. 3rd down, and I want to say 14 at the very least. So one of the Mascaro brothers in on the tackle there for the Bobcats. Dropping back to pass here. It'll be Heaton. Throws it to the far side, and it's picked off! Number 5, Dylan Myers in on the interception. And we saw this against Lovell a couple of weeks ago. They tossed it up to that far side of the field. The DB's just right there to meet it. And Myers hauling in another pick here on the season. He had a pair against Lovell a couple of weeks ago in that win over the Bulldogs, and he does it again. That's a Bobcat first down as they'll take over at the 42-yard line. Well, like we said earlier, the Lyman defense is good, but in my opinion, the Bobcat defense has been consistently better this season. And the DVs have been the stars of the show. The Bobcats have been crafting an interception machine the past couple of years. There'll be a run up the near side. Pyle cuts. He'll go to the near side. He's got to run. He'll stop, and he'll straight out of a tackle. And he's finally brought down to the 26-yard line. That's another Bobcat first down. I think he was finally brought down on the play by number 55, Coulter DeWitt. That's another name that we recognized from last year that also lit it up. Forgot to mention him at the top of the show, but Coulter DeWitt, definitely one of my favorite defensemen for the Lyman Eagles, and that is exactly why. He did a very good job cleaning up there on that defensive side after one of his teammates there on the front there missed his tackle. Takes a snap, a handoff here. It'll be a fake handoff as Boren's going to keep it himself. The first contact was made by the 55 of DeWitt. I think coming in for that final tackle was number 54, Everett Lee. Everett, yep, they did credit Everett Lee for the official tackle there, so good eye by me there. I'm getting better at seeing who's getting tackles. 2nd down coming up, 2nd and 14 is the call here. The Bobcats lost 4 on that play, and I think they should have just stuck it and handed off to Pyle because he had a lot of yards there when he did the dummy run there. Takes the run and a handoff this time. It is to Bridger Pyle, and he'll get some yards out of it. The forward progress, actually check that, it was actually Nolan Collins in on the run. It gets him back to the sticks, 3rd and 10 on the gain of 4 by Collins. So number 70, Marshall Hatch, another player. I think we said him earlier, but Marshall Hatch, really good player. That Hatch family we saw a lot of during the football game last year in the overtime win for the Bobcats. 9:20 to go here in the first half of play. Already here on homecoming night. It's been a very quick night so far, but time flies when you're having fun. Bobcats going to try again, 3rd down. Looks to be doubles here in the backfield. It'll be a handoff to Collins and not able to get anywhere on the play as he is brought down aggressively there by trying to get his number there. And a very good tackle by, come on, get out of the way. There we go. Okay, I can see him now. Number 70. Yeah, Marshall Hatch, and that's his 2nd tackle of this drive so far. He's had a very good He's had a good night. I think he's probably got a couple of other tackles under our noses as the Bobcats will use their first timeout of the evening. So that is going to bring it here to 4th down for the Bobcats on the timeout. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Still gridlocked at 0 here on homecoming night. Mike talking you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. And for the first time all season, at least from what we've been able to hear, it's the marching band that is here today. And Boren going to try to pass under a little bit of pressure. Throws to the end zone! Caught! Touchdown, Bobcats! Number 9, Jordan Garrison on the touchdown reception, and the Bobcats take the lead.
Touchdown pass from Shannon Boren to Jordan Garrison.
Yep, Garrison, just a fantastic receiver. He was open there, where he was one of 2 receivers in the vicinity there, and he got a very good target there. It was kind of a difficult throw. Bourne had 2 defensive linemen on his case. He still gets the throw off, and that's a touchdown. That's 6 for the Bobcats. The kick is up, and it is a flag.
Penalty on the play.
So let's see what the flag is for. There was also a pink flag thrown. Remember, it is October. It is Breast Cancer Awareness. Let's see what the referee has got here. He's talking with Boone Bowker here, it looks like. We're going to see. They're going to say that the extra point is good. So 7-0. Bobcats will take the lead here after a very awesome pass play. And I guess I'm just telling you right now, that's a very good case to keep using Cannon Boren in this game. 7-0. Bobcats on top. We'll be right back from LeRoy Hayes Field in just a moment. Here on homecoming night, Bobcats look to extend their record to 6-0 on the season, trying to keep the undefeated season alive. We'll be right back. You're watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network. Like talking you back here inside of LeRoy Hayes Field, and looks like the penalty was on Lyman. It will be assessed on the kickoff here. So the Bobcats, instead of kicking from the 40, they will be kicking from the 45 in Lyman territory. So that was a 15-yard penalty on the Eagles. Whatever it was, it's assessed on the kickoff, so they will just go ahead with that. And the kick is away. That's going to go into the back. Fielded by number 21 for Lyman. He'll run it out to the middle and immediately gobbled up there. Good run by... Why are there duplicate 21s on the roster? Okay. So it's either Grant Wiscombe or Joey Blumel, and I'm inclined... I feel like I've heard Blumel's name before, so I'm going to say it's him. But I think from now on we'll probably just use 21. If someone from Lyman is watching and is willing to help us out, then please, I will forever be in debt if you can help me out here, because there's multiple duplicates on the roster. It'll be a run up the middle. And like I said, I think the state of Wyoming needs to step in, and they need to force teams to get their stuff together with the roster stuff, because it's not only a headache for the announcing team. It's also what if there are parents trying to find their kid on the roster and there's two there's 2 names on the roster, like 2 names with the same number on the roster. They need to get this taken care of. Like, it's week 6 of the season. They should know who's on the team at this point. Takes the snap, drops back the pass, throws it to the far side. It's caught. A beautiful play there for the Eagles. And 3rd down coming up. Jagger Heaton was in on the throw there for the Eagles. I feel like I recognize that name from last year's game, actually. 3rd down and 2 coming up here. 7 minutes and 25 seconds to go in this second quarter. Like we said earlier, a very quick game up to this point. We've been live for 43 minutes, but it sure does not feel like it. It feels more like 10 or 15. Takes the snap. They're going to try and run it up the middle to try and grab the 1st down. I think they just barely got it. Couldn't see who was in on the run. That should be another Eagle 1st down. The Eagles getting better with their offense as the game progresses, whether they're starting to wear down the Bobcat D-line or not. They're getting more yards with each carry here. That is very impressive to see. Doing a very good job as we get to the end of this, or as we get closer to the end of this first half. And still some adjustments they probably need to make in the locker room, but I think what they're doing right now, I think, should be enough to get them on the board before the end of the half. And there'll be a run up the middle. That's going to be a big stop for the Bobcat D-line. And we got an Eagle that needed to be helped up there. It was number 17, Cody Herdsman, in on the carry. And what we noticed, we noticed this last year as well for the Eagles. They have a very active sideline. They switch out a ton of their players. And if you take a look at their sideline, this is a team that probably, this is a team that, they got a lot of people to use there on that sideline. The Bridger Valley is a lot bigger than you think. Because it's not just Lyman that they're drawn from. There's also a couple of other communities, Fort Bridger and Erie, I believe, that are down there as well that they draw students from. So, they got a lot of people there to use on the sideline. They've been using a lot of their players, a lot of subs, as Lyman will also use their first time out of the game. So we'll be right back in just a moment. 2nd and 11 coming up for the Eagles as the Bobcats try to make another defensive stand. They've been pretty much carrying the purple and gold all game. We'll be right back in just a moment. You're watching Homecoming Football here in 2A West on Two Basins Sports Network. I'd like to welcome you back, the Lyman Eagles and the Thermopolis Bobcats on Two Basins Sports Network. Well, this is our second to last football broadcast of the year, as we will not be broadcasting the Pinedale Wranglers game when they come to town, because we will be up in Grable, I think, for the middle school basketball team. But we will be on the road next week against Mountain View. Also, that's not going to be our. We got 2 more Thermop broadcasts. We're also helping out the Meeteetse Longhorns, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. As we'll be broadcasting Meeteetse versus Riverside in a couple of weeks, as well as a couple of JV games. For example, we'll be helping out the Shoshone Wranglers when they head up to Cali. Don't even know if that game's going to happen because they had to cancel their game against Cheyenne East. I don't know if it was Shoshone that canceled or if it was East that canceled, but hopefully we'll be able to head up to Cali as Shoshone takes on Rocky Mountain for some JV football in their prelude to the varsity game coming up. And then we'll be helping out Worland as they take their JV team to Riverton to take on the Wolverines. They'll throw over the middle, and it's picked off again! It's Pyle! He'll move to the near side! It's actually Collins! He'll shoulder a tackle there, and he'll get it to the 15! That is the second pick of the day for the Thermopolis Bobcats! Nolan Collins on the most recent interception. The first one was made by Dylan Myers earlier in the first quarter, and the Bobcats into the red zone immediately.
Just inside the Lyman 15-yard line.
15-yard line, you heard it there. Actually, more like the 14.5. 1st and 10 coming up for the Bobcats, and a very stout defensive performance so far today. Bobcats ready for their next offensive series. I think this will be their 4th of the game. A pitch to the near side. It's Collins. He'll bounce to the outside. He's going to break free, and he's going to be brought down. I think just a little bit short of the first. I'm telling you what, the Bobcats, I think if they do this against Mountain View, I think they'll be just fine. They need to trust Cannon Boren more, though, and I think that I've been saying this all season, but they just continue to run the ball every single time. They've only had a couple of passing plays today. I think if that, they need to trust Boren. They need to trust the receivers. There'll be a run up the middle, and I think they're going to be in. Touchdown, Bobcats! And that is the second touchdown of the day, the first rushing touchdown for the Bobcats. And the ambulance sirens going off here at LeRoy Hayes Field. Brings me back some childhood memories. I actually kind of forgot that the ambulance and the fire truck usually do the siren. This kick is up, and it is good. And I got to say this, Tanner DeLay, a freshman for the Bobcats, he has nailed both of his PATs today, and he has been getting better as a kicker as the season progresses. And we'll be right back in just a moment. 14-zip, Bobcats on top here at home against a tough Lyman defense. We'll be back in just a moment. Talking back here, we'd never switched to our other scene. We apologize. 2 timeouts apiece with 4:27 to go here in the second quarter. Bobcats up 14-zip off the rushing touchdown for the Bobcats. We did not see who it was. It was either Collins or Pyle. So with that being said, I have a feeling the cheerleaders might be doing a couple more push-ups tonight if the Bobcats continue playing the way that they have been tonight. And this has so far been a much better performance than what they had on the road against the Eagles. Whether the Bobcats were just travel fatigued or something, I don't know. They were not playing up to their standards in that game in Lyman last year. They're doing much better here. But let's see if they can finish the game. They're going to return it out from about the 15-yard line. He'll run through the middle. He's got some room to run, and he is shouldered to the ground there. The run made by 21 of Joey Blumel, I believe it is. And so there is a flag. We got confirmation from some Lyman fans in the chat. It is Joey Blumel. I also got some clarification on who number 4 is for the Eagles. It looks like we have a penalty on the Eagles. By the way, Dallin Smith is number 4. So once again, thank you to Logan Hole from Lyman, Wyoming for helping us out there in chat. Dallin Smith, okay. I will try to remember that. So once again, thank you to everyone who has helped out there. Like we said, there's a lot of duplicates on the Lyman roster. I don't know why that is. Maybe these two, I know for sure Lyman has a JV team. I mean, you look at their sideline. That's a huge team. So, but anyway, that's very much appreciated. So we got that right. It was Joey Blumel on the carry. He's had a pretty good night returning so far. He's shaking off quite a few Bobcat defenders. And look at that! The Bobcat D-line getting in there quickly. Number 17 in on the carry for Lyman, Cody Herdsman. I've loved watching this kid run it here so far tonight. Just unfortunately did not have the O-line on that play to make a good enough carry. Lyman's like I said earlier, Lyman's getting a lot better as the game progresses at extending these plays. They're getting more yards per carry as the game goes on. And, Lyman, this is kind of basically what we saw last year, right? Lyman trying to just wear down this Bobcat defense, and to some extent it is working. Now, that being said, they are pinned inside their own red zone. That's going to be a bad snap. They'll fall on it, though. Almost picked up by Pyle. And thankfully, Jagger Heaton in the vicinity to pick it up. But I also been a very big fan of Heaton today. That number 14 is he hasn't had very many opportunities to sling the rock today, but when he has, yeah, he's got 2 picks, but he's executed on a couple of his on a few pass plays that we've seen that haven't been picked off. Right, Heaton has been able to sling it pretty effectively. Nothing deep, obviously. You're not going to see that probably very often in 2A. But he's done enough to be serviceable to get Lyman a couple of key first downs tonight. 3rd down and long coming up, though, for the Eagles in shotgun. Dropping back to throw. He'll throw it over the near side. It's caught! Wrapped up and taken down by Nolan Collins. The catch made by Brady Morrison. I feel like that's a name that I also saw a little bit of last year in Lyman. A really good catch, and like we said, it wasn't Heaton that was on the throw that time. It was somebody different, but still a really good play. And so with that, the Lyman Eagles will use their the Thermopolis Bobcats, I meant to say, are going to use their second of 3 here. Lyman still with 2 on the board. We'll be right back. 2:36 to go here in Thermopolis. The Lyman Eagles, 4th down coming up for them off of a very good defensive game for them. Let's see if they can continue that here. We'll be right back in just a moment. Lyman Eagles and Thermopolis Bobcats here on homecoming night. We'd like to welcome the Lyman Eagles into Thermopolis. We hope you had a very, very safe drive. It's a long way. It's not a drive that I particularly enjoy. It's the Bridger Valley is very pretty, but it takes 4 hours to get there. And not to mention I-80 is a little bit of a dull drive from Rock Springs to the junction that takes you to Lyman. Actually, no. Check that from the exit of South Pass all the way to that exit is a pretty dull drive. It's desert. I mean, what's there to look at? But the actual valley itself, like once you get off the interstate, really beautiful little river basin there. It's just so pretty, in my opinion. And also during the fall, when we were in Lyman in 2020 and 2024. I think we caught when the leaves were turning yellow and like falling. It's a really beautiful sight in Lyman. There'll be a run to the far side here for Zach Hasty on a direct snap. Flag on the play. By the way, Bobcats did take over. I don't know if I mentioned that. It'll be on the 20. It was on the 26 when they started. Hasty with a decent carry of about 6 or so on the play. But like we said, there is dish towels on the field. And Tanner DeLay, it looks like he's going to get a little bit of playing time here. So it looks like the flag was on the Bobcats, so that is going to push them further away from the red zone. That is a big penalty, 10 yards coming up here. So Lyman with a very good opportunity to take advantage here on the defensive end of the ball. The Bobcats' I think either their 3rd or their 4th penalty of the game. They've had a couple of discipline problems. Like we said, not exactly Jacksonville Jaguars level bad, but they need to get the flags under control here. In motion is Collins. There'll be a handoff up the middle. It's Pyle on the carry, and he is going to get wrapped up and taken down by a flock of Eagles. Hugh Willie in on the initial contact there for Lyman. A very good job by the Lyman interior to get that stop there. Like we said multiple times already in this broadcast, they've been tearing it up here in this game. They've been kind of just they've been just limiting the Bobcats' movement here, and especially on such a crucial set of downs here where with a 10-yard penalty. They got to take advantage of that, and so far they're doing pretty well. 2nd and 18 coming up for Thermopolis. 2 receivers lined up off the line to the near side. Probably going to be a pass, and it will. Drops back, looks, and it's going to be a fumble picked up on midfield. And a very good job by the number 70, trying to see who it is. It was one of the offensive linemen. They're going to say it was Cruz Mascaro on the recovery there. But there was a flag on the play, and if it's not on Lyman, then that is going to, yeah, it might be on them. Well, actually, I don't know. I think they might have swallowed the flag there. Third down in a Walmart parking lot for the Thermopolis Bobcats, but frankly, I don't know if they care because there's 40 seconds left on the clock, and Thermopolis, I think, they'll be kicking off to start the second half. Drives back to throw. Boren throws over the middle. It's caught by Pyle, and I think he lost yards there. At least it wasn't picked up, but it does get him to about to the midfield logo. So fourth down in a Walmart parking lot. And I think they called a timeout, so we'll be right back. Very interesting. It was actually a Lyman timeout, so we'll be right back. Welcome you back as homecoming royalty on the track here at LeRoy Hayes Field. And a lot of it. So with that, fourth down and 34 is the official call here. Actually just behind midfield, takes the snap, looks to throw, looks to the near side or far side, throws it to the sticks and incomplete, intended for Zach Hasty, and Lyman will take over with 20 seconds left. It was a good throw, but Hasty just didn't have enough under it to get the catch, and also was being harassed by a couple of Eagles there on that far side. Good job by the Eagles to shut down the Bobcats on that drive. And, you know, aside from obviously 2 scores on the board, which that second score I'm not sure you could really pin on the defense, as the Bobcats were given really advantageous field position to begin with. But, you know, the defense I feel like has done extremely well. They've really been picking up the slack here for the most part, and that also goes for the Bobcats as well. Both teams, it's a defensive shootout. That's kind of been the story of the Bobcats all year. But Lyman has done a lot better on the offensive side here and the defensive side. And throws it, and it's picked off as soon as I say that. Zach Hasty with his second interception of the day. Couldn't see who it was intended for. I think it might have been intended for Dallin Bradshaw on the near side. And Hasty usually you want to stay in front of your man, and I guess he kind of was. The receiver was turning back. He could have had a hand on it. I think it might have been a little bit overthrown, and Hasty was able to get it into his hand there for the pick. Like we said, his second of the day, and he has picked it off on both sidelines here. He had a pick on the far side earlier. In shotgun set. Tries to get Lyman offside. They do not fall for it. It'll be a screen pass to the near side and incomplete, intended for Pyle. 11.6 seconds to go. I smell deer guts. Good Lord, I keep forgetting it's October and that it's hunting season. My grandparents used to hunt, and, you know, I dreaded October because I knew that they would come home and it smelled like deer blood, and I just can't stand that smell. It makes me want to throw up. I don't even know if there's a legal dumping site anywhere near here. Takes the snap, and he'll keep it himself. And Boren swallowed up by a flock of Eagles. And with that, they'll let the clock run down. And the Lyman Eagles putting up a good fight so far, but the Bobcats getting a bit of an advantage, 14-0 here at the end of the first half. And with that, we got 24 more minutes left in this game. Can the Eagles make the proper adjustments in the locker room and come back? We'll be right back in just a moment, in 15 minutes or more for the start of this second half. Bobcats up 14-0, trying to keep the Eagles at bay to keep the undefeated season alive. We'd like to welcome you back here in just 15 minutes for the start of for the start of the second half. It's Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. Thermopolis leads 14-0 at the half. I don't know how well you can see this here, but we got fireworks on the northeast end of the track here at LeRoy Hayes Field. What a grand re-entrance for the Bobcats. Well, we're getting ready to start the third quarter of action here from LeRoy Hayes Field, but before we do that, let's take a look at your scores from around the two basins. Brought to you by YO Preps. Of course, thank you to them for giving us those scores here. Well, I guess not really giving them to us personally, but like hosting them, I guess you could probably say. Anyway, we're going to start off with some scores that we had on Thursday. Of course, some Thursday football, October 9th. I did have a couple of Wind River Basin things. It was mostly just 9-man, though. The Wind River Cougars took on the number 3 ranked Big Piney Punchers. Big Piney won that game 52-8. Some games going on in progress here so far today across the two basins. Starting off in 3A, the number 2 ranked Cody Bronx taking on the number 1 ranked and defending state champion Star Valley Braves out of Afton, Wyoming. Right now, it is currently in the fourth quarter of that game. Star Valley is winning 14-7. In the second quarter is currently Riverton taking on Lander Valley, a rivalry game on the Wind River Indian Reservation. Well, I guess outside the Wind River Indian Reservation. Number 3 ranked Riverton Wolverines currently lead the number 4 ranked Lander Valley Tigers 17-0. Heading down again, Powell taking on the Green River Wolves. Powell currently losing that game in the second quarter 14-0. And finally ending off with Buff. I guess, would they technically be Bighorn Basin or no? I'm going to err on that side. Buffalo taking on Torrington right now is currently in the first quarter. Buffalo winning 10-6. Heading down into Class 2A, the Bighorn Rams took on the Glen Rock Herders. Bighorn, the best team currently in 2A football. Bighorn won that game over the Herders. They're currently winning 42-0 in the second quarter. The number 2 ranked Mountain View Buffaloes currently taking on the Worland Warriors. The Mountain View Buffaloes beating the Warriors 14-10. So that is very good news for the Bobcat fans that Worland is losing yet another game. Level taking on Pinedale right now. Level number 4 in 2A. The Bulldogs are taking down the Pinedale Wranglers so far 14-7. Tongue River Eagles taking on the Wheatland Bulldogs. It is currently a logjam at 7-7 in the second quarter. Heading down to 9-man football. The Grable Buffaloes are taking on the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. At halftime, the number 2 ranked Grable Buffaloes lead the number 4 ranked Rocky Mountain Grizz 16-14. Currently in the second quarter, the Shoshone Wranglers taking on the Wyoming Indian Chiefs. Shoshone currently up 14-0. Heading down into 6-man competition, the Encampment Tigers are taking on they took on the DuBois Rams. Encampment won that game 64-14. And finally, Meeteetse took on KC today, and as expected, the Meeteetse Longhorns beat the KC Buckaroos in Meeteetse 56-13. Also, Riverside was supposed to take on Midwest today. There's no score currently recorded for that. And tomorrow there is a Bighorn Basin team, a couple of them tomorrow, as Hewlett will take on 10 Sleep at 2 p.m. And Kelly Walsh Junior Varsity team will take on the number 3 ranked Burlington Huskies tomorrow at noon. That concludes the scores from across the two basins. We're back underway here from Thermopolis. Lyman returning on the far side, got knocked up with just a little bit. He'll be taken to the ground on the third attempt there as the train rolls by here at LeRoy Hayes Field. Didn't catch who had the return there. We apologize. Like we said, the Lyman Eagles came into this game. They were looking for only their second win of the season, hoping to get things started in the last 3 games of the season. There are going to be 2 more games after this for Thermopolis. They got to take on Mountain View on the road next Friday, followed by their senior night / pink out game against Pinedale. I think it's all but guaranteed at this point that if the Bobcats win this, they're pretty much locked into the playoffs. It's just going to be a matter of who's going to take that number 1 seed in 2A West. Mountain View and Thermopolis are atop the standings in 2A West. So that game next week is going to be that tiebreaker, assuming Mountain View beats Worland today. If Mountain View loses to Worland, that should give Thermopolis the number 1 seed. It's a run up the far side. So at the same time, if you're a Bobcat fan, you hope that Worland loses, right? But obviously. But at the same time, you know, you kind of, if you're hoping for Thermopolis to get that #1 seed, you kind of want the Warriors to come through and beat the Buffaloes, right? Because if Mountain View loses, then Thermopolis and Bighorn will be the only 2 remaining undefeated teams, and Bighorn's not even in our conference. It'll be a run up the middle here. That's going to push them forward for the Lyman first down. And I'm sure the Lyman Eagle fans tuning in, right, they're kind of hoping that Mountain View loses tonight, I'm pretty sure, right? Because, you know, Lyman and Mountain View just kind of like Thermop and Moreland. They're just like, I've heard that they're pretty good rivals. So. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mountain View, or Lyman's already taken on Mountain View. And it'll be a run up the middle and a big burst of energy there for the Eagles. Trying to see who had the carry. It is number 12, Jace. I think it's either Jevin Maxfield or Jace. I think it's Maxfield. Because I think I remember seeing Jevin Maxfield play last year when Thermopolis was in Lyman. So, again, hoping we can have that sorted out here in chat. 10:25 to go here, second down and 1. So it wasn't a first down for the Eagles, surprisingly there. But they've broken into Thermopolis territory. The Eagles looking for their first score of the night. It'll be a run up the middle and just could not get anywhere on the play. Well, anywhere except for the first down marker. Actually, no, he might have been just a little bit short. Third down is what they're going to call here. They got him right there at about the 45-yard line in Bobcat territory. So Lyman, hopefully, I mean, it should be a pretty easy run here. Like we said, if Lyman can do like a fullback dive or something, probably I go fullback dive to the left in this scenario. That's just me, but third down and 1. And looks like that's what they're going to do, except they're going to go fullback dive to the right. And that is a first down for the Eagles off of, I want to say, number 21, Joey Blumel.
Joey Blumel on the carry for Eagles. Good enough for his first and 10.
So 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter here on homecoming night. Eagles with a first down here off of Blumel's dive to the right. They'll have another opportunity here. Can the Bobcats hold on 38-yard line? Again, if Lyman scores, not really the end of the world. It would be their first score of the game, but you don't want to give them that momentum if you're the Bobcats. It'll be a run to the far side, a pickup of about 2 on the play. Couldn't catch who the runner was for the Eagles there. Second down and 8, or 9 actually is what the scoreboard's going to say here. And so the clock continues to run here. Lyman coming out for their second play of the set of downs here. Ball on the Thermopolis 38-yard line. Bobcats have not been this deep in the field yet in this game. It'll be a run to the far side, number 21 for Lyman. And I think he'll get just enough for the first down here. It was Joey Blumel on another carry for the Eagles. And they've been going to him a lot in this game. I feel like we've called out his number a lot tonight. And looks like it's not going to be a first down. I apologize again. The angle was kind of messing me up there. Third down and 3 appears to be the call here. So Bobcat Interior needs to get back there. They know that they're probably going to hand it off to either Blumel or they're going to hand it off to, who's the other one? Cody Herdsman, I think, is the other person they've been going to tonight. They need to keep it on that backfield. D-line needs to keep things contained here. It'll be a run to the left side. Evades one hit, and he'll be brought down, I think, by Hasty on the near side. Should be, I think, just a bit short.
The ball carrier, brought down by Zach Hasty.
So, yep, it will be fourth down, and I want to say 1 here for the Eagles.
4th and 1.
Yep, there they are, 4th and 1, 8 minutes to go in the third. Bobcats trying to make a key defensive stand, and if they do stop the Eagles on this play here, they need to go downfield and make a statement play here because they can't. They've been given this. I think this will be their 6th upcoming offensive drive of the game. They need to do something with it. The Eagles are certainly making very good use of their first drive of the half, and there'll be a run to the far side. That should be a first down off of Jevin Maxfield. And, yep, we were told in chat it is Jevin Maxfield. That's what I thought from last year. And he is responsible for another Lyman Eagle first down. 27-yard line, 7 yards away from a Lyman red zone alert. 7:30 to go here in the third quarter. Lyman with 2 men lined up in a wing there. It'll be a run to the far side, and evades 1 tackle, evades 2, and he'll get it taken down into 3. I want to say that was number 5, Dylan Myers, in on the tackle, as it was Blumel on the carry. So they went with a running back. They went with a outs. They went with kind of. I want to say it was shoot. He went out on the C gap there, and he just took it and ran with it to the far sideline there. That was enough to pick up. Actually, no, he didn't gain anything. I thought he gained on that. I guess, again, from this angle, we're lined up on the 40-yard line on the south end of the field. It's a little bit warped. There'll be a run here. Blumel again on another handoff. There'll be a run to the far side. Third down coming up for the Eagles. That should get them back to the original sticks here. Maybe a little bit inside of them. Nope, it'll be just barely outside, 3rd and 11. Actually, it might be 3rd and 10. Yep, 3rd and 10. 6:23 to go in the third quarter. Lyman's first real big chance to score here. Thermopolis really struggled in the first few sets of downs there. They've had Lyman's moved the chains a couple times here on this drive. They're about 6 yards out from the Bobcat red zone, but the D-line doing a much better job on this set of downs. 3rd and 10. Lyman with 3 receivers lined up, looks to be trips to the left side. Takes it, drops back for the pass, throws to the left side, trips off the Bobcat helmet. That's going to be incomplete. And the turf monster takes Porter Eyre as a victim there, or Eyre, E-Y-R-E. I'm probably saying that all kinds of wrong. I apologize. We got a lot of Eagles watching today. I apologize for that, really. I try my best. And we got horns. Lyman brought their cowbells. The Bobcats brought milk jugs full of coins and vuvuzelas. It's like it's the 2010 World Cup all over again, except probably a lot less obnoxious, actually. Speaking of, Mountain View is going to have their cowbells next week. I'm actually really looking forward to the atmosphere there. I've never been to Mountain View, so can't wait to see. I know they bring cowbells to the away games, but there'll be a timeout called for. I think I didn't catch who it was. Thankfully, we have the scoreboard to go off of here. But timeout called for Lyman, so they're going to use their first timeout of this half here. So Lyman on a 4th down and 10 situation, their first big chance to score today. They're going to try to take advantage. We'll be right back. It's 14-zip here in the third quarter. Bobcats on top. Well, I thought I was in Canada again for a minute. This is exactly what the atmosphere was like when I was up in Rosetown, Saskatchewan for the Can-Am 6-man bowl. Canada fans brought their horns, their hockey horns and everything, and this is exactly what it sounded like. It's a run, big pressure to the far side, and it picks it off! That is the 4th interception of the day for the Lyman Eagles, and the Bobcats are going to bring it out to about the 30. Or the 25, my bad. Sorry. I'm just really, I don't know. I think it was a good throw there, but the receiver just couldn't. I don't even think, most of these interceptions have not been on the QB. I'm going to say that right now for free. That the receivers have kind of been just not been getting up to the ball the way they should have. And Lyman, I think, probably should have a couple touchdowns on the board, but the Bobcat defense with their 4th interception of the game. It'll be a run up on a halfback misdirection to the far side. It'll be 2nd down as Lyman able to actually scrape a few yards off of that carry. Thank you, Dorothy Pitts in chat. You are very much appreciated. That was Porter Ayer that they were targeting on that last drive where it bounced off the Bobcat defender's helmet. In motion is Zach Hasty. Goes around his quarterback, takes the snap from shotgun. It'll be a handoff up the far side, up fake handoff. They'll get right there to the QB. Cannon Boren swallowed up by a flock of Eagles on the play. And Lyman just screeching to the quarterback there on that play. Great job by the D-line. And Lyman, frankly, their defensive line has been the star of the defense today, I feel like. They've been getting there. They've been creating a lot of problems for Cannon Boren and the running backs. And that was just another example. Boren tried to go for that fake handoff. I think they were going to try to have him keep it. And Lyman just read it like a book and swallowed him up there. Lined up near side cornerback seems to be Dallin Bradshaw. He's lined up about 10 yards away from his receiver. It's going to be a pass play. Throws it over the middle. It's caught by, check that. Oh, was it hauled in? I think it might have been by Zach Hasty, but either way, it'll be 4th down coming up. Nope, it is incomplete, and that's the second time that Boren has targeted Hasty, and he's just not been able to keep a hold of it in this game. That being said, Hasty, I believe, was responsible for a receiving touchdown. No, that was Garrison that got the receiving touchdown, actually, earlier in the game in that second quarter. So Bobcats will be back to punt it here. Excited to see what Lyman's got up their sleeve for this offensive series. They're still trying to look for their first offensive score of the game. And they'll be downed by Bridger Pyle to the 40-yard line. They kick, trying to get out there to get it. I believe it was Joey Blumel that was back there to return. He's been back there all night, so just going to assume that it was him there. 4 minutes to go. So now we know what the big weapons are for the Eagles. And it's not really that shocking. Joey Blumel has been doing a fantastic job tonight with the limited blocks that his O-line have been able to provide for him today. Blumel has been the most dangerous feat down there on that field. And a handoff up through the middle, and he's going to get a lot there. He'll get to the logo. Number 23 in on the carry. That's Cal France. That's another name we recognize from last year. They ran him a lot against the Bobcats in 2024. Cal France, good to see that he's still on that Lyman roster, although I can't tell what grade he is because they do not have him listed there on the Lyman roster. But Cal France, once again, just a fantastic run. Got a pickup of 9 on the carry there. So one of the longest plays of the night for Lyman tonight. It'll be a run to the midfield, and he'll be stopped by a Pride of Bobcats. Should be an Eagle first down. And like we said, the Bobcats, we've said this a lot all season. The Bobcats have been not doing a great job of holding offenses on the Bobcat half of the field. It's usually when the opponent gets into the 30-yard line that the Bobcat defense starts to tighten up. Takes a snap. It'll be a run to the near side. I think it was a quarterback keeper. Still driving, and he's brought down. What a run for Jevin Maxfield. This kid was so much fun to watch, and what we were able to see of him last year. We know that this coach likes to switch out quarterbacks. He did like what LSU did like about 5-10 years ago, just switching. They have like a dual quarterback system, and it's so awesome to watch Jevin Maxfield do his thing. A great job on that quarterback keeper. Lyman Lyman in shotgun set here. Takes the snap. And I think it was a direct snap here to the 23. He's got a set of wheels on him and finally brought down. A good run by Cal France. Again, they got him on the direct snap there, and that was going to be enough for a Lyman first down. Collins in on the tackle for the Bobcats. 2:24 to go here in the third quarter of action here from LeRoy Hayes Field. And let's see if the Bobcats have an answer. Lyman has been doing fantastic on the offensive end of the ball here in this third quarter. Takes the snap, a quarterback keeper here for Jevin Maxwell. Sorry, Maxfield, not Maxwell. Where did I get Maxwell from? I meant to say Maxfield. I apologize. Have I been saying Maxwell all drive? Oh my good Lord, I am so sorry. Jevin Maxfield on the run. Like I said, he's been doing he's had some good success in this drive on the the past couple of drives on the quarterback keeper. 90 seconds to go in the third quarter of action. And it looks like it was a run to the far side, and it is a rugby scrum out there as the Bobcats will stop him with limited yardage there. Third down coming up. I want to say 3rd down and 3.
Herdsman on the carry for Lyman.
I think they said Blumel on the carry. Or no, Herdsman. Sorry about that. Sorry. Herdsman on the carry for Lyman. And looks like shotgun set again. Single back to the right. It'll be a direct snap. And brought down, number 23, Cal France again on the carry. They have given him a couple of direct snaps on this on this drive here. So that's going to be enough for another Eagle first down off of the Cal France carry for 3 yards. 50 seconds to go here. The first down will stop the clock, and they will keep it going. Lyman breaks into the 25-yard line. This is the furthest they've been all day. It'll be a run here for Maxfield. Or sorry, check that actually was Jagger Heaton on the carry for Lyman, number 14. 30 seconds to go here. A pickup of about 4 for the Eagles off of, or actually check that 3 on the carry by Jagger Heaton. He's got moves like Jagger there on that carry. Beautiful job for the pickup of 3. Takes the snap, hands it on. Nope, check that. I think Jagger Heaton's going to keep it. Got hit from the side there on that one. 3rd down and 4. 3, 2, 1. And that's going to conclude the third quarter. 12 minutes to go here from Hot Springs County High School as Thermopolis tries to take down the Lyman Eagles, and hopefully not in overtime this time. Just not another thing that the Cardiac Cats need to add to their resume there. But we'll be right back. A very good third quarter by the Eagles, but can they finally punch it in for their first 6 of the game? We'll be right back in just a moment. Bobcats lead 14-zip here. A scoreless third quarter. We'll be right back. Fourth quarter in a classic as the Lyman Eagles taking on the third-ranked Thermopolis Bobcats and holding their own and looking for their first score of the game. Fourth quarter, ignore the graphic there. Fourth quarter coming up here. It is homecoming football on Two Basins Sports Network. Very interesting, as the roster says. Roster actually doesn't have a 28 on the, But a run to the near side. So we apologize again. So not only is the roster, actually now that I think about it, during the starting lineups, they actually announced a number 28. There is not a 28 on the roster, unfortunately. Like we said, there are duplicates and there are missing numbers. That's fantastic. But again, big thank you to the Lyman Eagle fans in the audience that have been helping us out a lot. Like, you guys are awesome. I will take your word for it. I'll take your word for it about Gage Bradshaw being 14, because he is not on our roster. Oh, no, he is. He's listed as 10 on our roster. It'll be a pass to the near side. He is going to be taken out of bounds by a Pride of Bobcats. A pass play to the near side on the screen on the catch by number 4. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait, no. Dallin Smith. Somebody pointed out in chat in the second quarter that it was Dallin Smith. So, so Smith again. We've called his name. I think we've called his name or his number at the very least a couple times tonight. Lyman playing a little bit tighter there. They got a receiver out toward the sideline. First down coming up. There'll be a carry up to the right side, and he is taken down to the 10-yard line. The carry made by Cody Herdsman. That'll be an Eagles second down.
Right down by Nolan Collins.
So the Eagles, like we said multiple times already, they're trying to punch it in for their first score of the night. 14-0. Lyman trying to make it a one-score game. It'll be a run up through the middle, and he is going to get taken down. The carry by number 23, Cal France. Third down coming up. It looks like to be 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. And I think we might be able to see whether or not Lyman can kick the field goal. Just because they're wearing a blue helmet doesn't mean that they're going to automatically kick a field goal. We know we've seen Lovell, similar color scheme. We know that Lovell can kick a field goal, but here come the Eagles lined up to the near side. They're going to try, I think you probably expect either a run or a screen pass here to the 5 of Dallin Bradshaw. It'll be a run to the near side. Actually, yep, it will. And swallowed up by the Bobcat interior. A small gain on the play. 4th down coming up for the Bobcats. Or for the Eagles. I apologize really badly for that one. It's been a really fun night. Homecoming night is always something special, especially as the Bobcats try to keep the undefeated season alive, but Lyman making a last half stance to try to get this game back into their control. They've had so many tight contests all season. Their record does not reflect the kind of games that they've been playing this year. A lot of those losses, one-score games. Takes a snap. It's going to be a pass over the middle, and he's got it. Just a little bit short of the goal line there. I think it was completed to Dallin Smith, number 4. A good little short pass over the middle, and now I think they're going to measure it. Or nope, they will call it. That's a Lyman Eagle. 1st down. 1st and goal coming up. Fantastic job by Dallin Smith to haul it in there. He was kind of bobbling it a little bit. I thought for sure. But he holds on to it. And Lyman going to try to punch it in for a score here. Under center. Lined up, takes the snap a little bit high, but it'll be just enough. Number 12, Jevin Maxfield on the run. Took it himself, did not gain really much of anything there. 2nd and goal coming up for the Eagles. And the Bobcat defense trying to make a stand to keep the score off the board. Trying to get their first shutout of the season. They've let in a couple of touchdowns in the end of in the 4th quarter, and we know in the blowout against the Kemmerer Rangers they did that. I don't think they've had a single shutout all game, and Lyman's going to try to keep it that way. Try and not only go for a shutout, really, but to try to get this game into their favor. It'll be a run to the outside, lowers the shoulder, tripped up, I think, just short of the, nope, he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Touchdown, Lyman, 4-yard touchdown run by number 23, Cal France.
And once again, Cal France credited with the 4-yard rushing TD. And so Lyman breaks it 14-6. And they are going to come in for the PAT. Easton Hole coming in to kick the PAT for the Eagles. Takes the snap. The kick is up, and I think that cleared. Yep, it did. Hole makes it a one-score game, and it is 14-7 as Lyman gets the score on the run by. I already forgot. Oh shoot, that's not good. I already forgot who scored. But Cal France on the score by Cal France, and the subsequent PAT by Easton Hole. It is 14-7. Lyman, I have a feeling they might go for an onside kick here. They're already getting their kickoff squads out onto the field, so we're going to stay on the air. So 14-7. Lyman still down by 1 touchdown here. And now the Bobcats might have to work a little bit harder here. They got to take this a little bit more seriously. I think they came into this game. I think they saw Lyman only had 1 win on the year, and I think they just kind of said, hey, this is going to be easy. It's not easy. Lyman has had a lot of close games, and they have proven that their defense is stout. They proved in this game plenty of times. Out to the outside, they got to the 30-yard line. First down coming up for the Bobcats, 7:21. All they have to do is hold on and survive. Remember how this game ended last year? Game went into overtime because of a last stance by the Eagles. Of course, the Bobcats were able to hold on thanks to a tackle by Mac Buckner, but can't rely on those types of stops forever. 1st and 10, Bobcats down to the 31-yard line on the kickoff return. 7:21 to go. Shotgun set for the Bobcats. Expect them to send one in motion. They will. Goes in behind, takes the snap, and a fake handoff. Bourne will keep it himself. He'll be brought down to the 30 again. So he'll be stopped about where he came from. 2nd and 10 should be coming up for the Bobcats. And Thermopolis has to try everything they can. I don't think they can really afford to give this ball back to the Eagles. They have had they've really fired it up on offense in this second half here. They can't afford to give it back to the Eagles. One man in a 3-point stance behind the QB. Takes a pitch to the middle of the field. He's going to break 3. He's got some room, and he's going to get the first down. And he just went through. It's like that one scene from Finding Nemo, right? Where that clownfish was trying to carry Dory through the sea of, the minefield of jellyfish, right? That's exactly what it looked like. He just lowered his shoulder and went right on through, and he got himself a first down. Double wing here for the Bobcats. Takes the snap, pitches it up through the middle again, breaks free, lowers his shoulder, and gets to the logo. And it was Zach Hasty on the carry. 2nd down coming up for the Bobcats. 2nd and 3, or 2nd and 2, my bad. 6 minutes to go, halfway through the 4th quarter. The Bobcats just running the ball, trying to keep the clock rolling here. It smells like sulfur. I guess it's starting to get to that temperature now where the sulfur is more pronounced. It's that time of year. Takes the snap, another pitch, 3 pitches in a row, again to Hasty. And still on his feet, and he'll cross the plane to midfield. And they're going to get a little bit of purple and yellow paint on them there, as that's going to bring it up to the 49-yard line in Lyman territory. That's another Bobcat first down, or check that, it's not. I am so sorry about that. 3rd down and 1. Like we said, Bobcats usually pretty good in 3rd and short situations. Let's see what they have here. Double wing again for the Bobcats. Takes the snap, and quarterback will keep it up the middle, and that is going to be, it's not a tush push, but it's still a pretty good play other way for the Bobcats. That should be another Bobcat first down. And like we said, that should possibly keep things rolling here. And that is another Bobcat first down. Let's see what they have here. Double wing again for the Bobcats. Bourne under center. Takes the snap. Hand off at the left side. Breaking free. It's Pyle. Still on his feet. And gets toward the first down there. It's a little bit short, I think.
On the carry. Fallon Bradshaw with his tackle. Gain of 9 on the play. He's up to 2nd down and short.
4:20 to go here. Second down and 1 on the play for the Bobcats. Wind starting to come in a little bit here in Thermopolis. And trying to milk the clock a little bit here. 4 minutes to go. Under center. Takes the snap. Pitch again. This time to, I want to say, Pile again. Should be enough for a Bobcat first down, and it is. It was either that or the 9 of Garrison, although I doubt that.
First and 10, Bobcat.
Or actually, it might have been Nolan Collins now that I think about it. And a very good day for football here. It's not been very cloudy at all. There's barely any wind up until this moment. And even then, I don't even think there's a snowball's chance of any rain coming in here. Beautiful night for football. Great game. Great teams out on display here tonight. As the Bobcats look to go into their game against Mountain View, and there's a flag.
Penalty on the play.
And illegal procedure on Thermopolis. They'll keep the first down, though. And that's the type of penalty that Lyman needed here. Hope to probably spark a little bit of momentum here on defense. And to be fair, Lyman actually has been done a pretty good job still on this drive, despite the fact that the ball is where it is. Lyman has done a very good job limiting the yards per carry here in this game. 1st and 15 for the Bobcats. Boren under center again. 3 minutes to go, running clock. Takes the snap, handoff up to Bridger Pyle, and he is going to be brought down about 3 yards later there. Second down coming up. 2nd and 12, I want to say, is the scoreboard we're given here. Yep, it is. Ball on the 39-yard line. The Bobcats don't even necessarily need to score, but you know Lyman is going to use timeouts here.
Second down.
Bobcats will be on the road next week against the Mountain View Buffaloes. Takes the snap, pitches it out to the far side. It's going to be a good run here. And a flag comes in. Got some good yards, but the flag comes in, and it looked like it might have been on the Bobcats. And I want to say it was holding. We'll just have to check for confirmation on that, though.
Penalty on Lyman.
Oh, it's actually on Lyman. Didn't see. I think there was a player, or it was face mask on Lyman. So that's going to be a automatic first down for the Bobcats. 2 minutes to go here in this game. Here on homecoming night. The best season already has been the best season that the Bobcats have had since 2013. It's already been that way, even coming into this game. But 2 minutes left. They have a chance to improve to 6-0 here. They just got to keep a hold of the football. If Lyman calls a timeout, then they're going to have to just try to go for that first down and try to go to the pylon here to seal it. 1:40 to go. Takes a pitch to the outside. I think it's Hasty. And gets a very good gain on the play, second down. And I think they did call a timeout. Lyman timeout with 1:30 to go. We'll be right back. You are watching Bobcat football on Two Basins Sports Network, the voice of the Bobcats. 14-7, Thermop on tap here against the Eagles. I'd like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School at LeRoy Hayes Field, home of the Bobcats. Lyman Eagles trail by 7. They just used their first timeout, their second timeout. I am so sorry. They called a timeout earlier in the half, and I missed it. I don't know how. We even had it on our score bug. We had a timeout there on our score bug. Nolan Collins on the carry. He'll be brought back by the Eagles, but it looks like they'll mark him down on forward progress, 3rd down. And Lyman will burn their 3rd and final timeout. With 3rd down coming up, a 1st down will probably put this game to bed. And the Bobcats just trying to survive. They didn't have the best of defensive stands in that last drive. All half, actually, the defense has not really done what it was earlier in the game, and Lyman, you could definitely tell we're really wearing down that Bobcat interior, and the mission, as soon as the Bobcats got that ball back, just keep that ball out of the Eagles' feathers here. And so far they've done that. They've had possession for majority of the quarter here. And so with that 14-7, both teams back out onto the field here. And I'm trying to have some good news for Lyman here because we're going to check on Mountain View's game here. It'll be good news for one of us, I guess. A run up to the far side. This should be a 1st down. And I do think it is. They'll stop the clock at 1:06. Bobcats say they have it. If it's a 1st down, then this game is over, and they've got it. 1st down, Thermopolis. And we're going to check on a game that has some serious implications for the Bobcats. Mountain View Buffaloes and the Whirlin Warriors. And we're going to check on that for you. According to the McCamey Broadcasting Network, right now it is currently 28-17, Mountain View on top. And that is probably going to end it here. 30 seconds to go, 14-7. And student section seems confident. And that is going to conclude it. The Bobcats going to let this one go out as Lyman used their final timeout already. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they've done it! The Bobcats' perfect season continues on. They advance to 6-0. And the final score, the Lyman Eagles, or the Thermopolis Bobcats 14, the Lyman Eagles 7. And of course, as always, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out here on homecoming night. Bobcats move to 6-0. They'll take on the Mountain View Buffaloes next Friday on the road, and then the Pinedale Wranglers here at home for senior night. And we're trying to get a schedule as to what the Lyman Eagles will be facing in the upcoming weeks as well. If you can just give us like 1 second, we will have that for you here. Lyman Eagles will be set to take on the Pinedale Wranglers in Lyman on October 16th, and then they'll have senior night against Mountain View on the 24th. So I guess that answers my question from earlier. They did not, in fact, play Mountain View yet. I thought for sure they did. And by the way, that win was against Kemmerer, so I don't know where I don't know what I said earlier. But so like we said, Bobcats will have very, very similar schedules coming up for both teams here. Thermopolis will take on Mountain View on the road next week, and then Pinedale at home. For senior night, Lyman will have the inverse of that, except both games will be at home. They take on the Pinedale Wranglers next week in Lyman, and then the Mountain View Buffaloes the week after in Lyman as well for senior night. Of course, thank you to everyone who's tuned in from both Lyman and Thermopolis And what a game, a very quick game is that at that. We've only been live for about 2 hours. Usually we're live for about 2.5, so very quick game. You could probably credit that to the run defense. Player of the game today is going to go to, I'm going to give it off to Jordan Garrison, actually, for that catch earlier in the game. Biggest play of the game, so by far, about a 30-plus yard play. And there were a couple of pretty good runs as well. Bridger Pyle and Zach Hasty had some excellent runs in the game. Honorable mentions as well for the Lyman Eagles. I'm going to give this one off to, I'm going to say Joey Blumel absolutely deserves some credit there as well. I'm also going to give it up to, I'm going to give it off as well to Jevin Maxfield for the Eagles, and also going to also give my last honorable mention today to Cal France for that touchdown late in the game as well. I think he deserves for being the only scorer for the Eagles today. But with that being said, we wish good luck to the Lyman Eagles in the rest of their season, especially against Mountain View. It's going to be, I think it's going to be entertaining to watch how these two teams finish off their season. Lyman's still looking for that second win, and Thermopolis. This is a game that is must win if they want to get that finals, if they want to get that first seed in 2A West. They got to take on Mountain View, and right now they're beating Worland on the road. So they have to, Mountain View is probably going to end up winning that game against the Warriors unless they do something magical. And I think that Thermopolis has a chance to beat Mountain View. They did it last year, and I think that they have the right tools. If they can counter, if they can stop that Mountain View offense, I think they'll be just fine. But that's a matter of if they can. The defense is doing a lot of. The defense did a lot of heavy lifting, but it was a close call for sure today. Defense can only do so much, especially in high school football. The offense has to catch up. They have to make good plays, and I think that's something the Bobcats need to work on. They need to work on a lot of stuff. I think they need to trust Cannon Bourne a lot more. I think that's the main takeaway here. Bourne had a passing touchdown today. Gave it to Jordan Garrison. I think that they have a good quarterback. They have receiving weapons that they need to utilize as well. They've been targeting one or the other. It's either Nolan Collins or Zach Hasty. They have Jordan Garrison to work with. He's proven that he's a very good receiver. I think they just need to give him that opportunity. 14-7 the final score here. That'll wrap up our broadcast here today. As always, please tune in next week for some football against Mountain View. We also got a couple of broadcasts coming up, especially tomorrow. Got some freshman JV and varsity volleyball coming up for tomorrow as the Thermopolis Bobcats host the Wind River Cougars for some 2A action, inter-conference action. Wind River Cougars in 2A Southwest, I think. Not a team that they really get to see much of. And, of course, we got some JV football coming up for you. Hopefully, if our car can get fixed in time, we'll be heading up to Cali. It depends on two things, whether or not our car gets fixed, and also if Shoshone decides they want to cancel this next JV game because they're supposed to take on the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. We also got a couple more volleyball broadcasts planned for the season before the girls' middle school basketball season. So with that being said, one more time, the final score, Bobcats played another 7-foot tall Watusi today, and they've taken down the Lyman Eagles 14-7. As always, thank you to the Lyman Eagles and Thermopolis Bobcats fans for coming out here tonight, here on homecoming night. We wish the Lyman Eagles a safe drive home, especially through South Pass. And with that being said, until next time, please drive home safe and do not pet the buffalo. The Thermopolis Bobcats improved to 6-0 on the season for the first time in a very, very long time.